Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome to the weekly Nintendo News Roundup live, each and every Friday night, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. The All In crew breaks down the week in Nintendo news. I see you there in the chat. Good evening there, Bowser.
Good evening to you as well.
Good
I hope
evening,
you guys
Eric.
hope you guys loved that Halloween intro. Another killer track from our friend Jordan the Red. Man, I love that Halloween
I do
intro
too.
track, man. Oh my
I do
lord, it's
too.
so good. But here we are, another lovely Friday. It's good to see you, Seth. And just to let everybody out there know, it is of course spooky season. We have, of course, a few tricks up our sleeve, but we also have a few treats. One of them
That's
is
right.
joining us right now. Look down. Look who it is, guys. Look who it is.
Look down
It's
there.
Barry Carenza from Premium Edition Games, guys. Welcome so much to the weekly Nintendo Roundup, Barry.
Oh, thank you so much. It's great to be here. I love that intro, by the way. That was awesome.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good.
man. It's good.
Love
I
it.
love it too.
Good to have you back on the show, man.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, been a little minute. It was nice because you guys just had the premium edition fall direct, and it was like this is something we would have been covering on the news roundup anyway. So it's like perfect opportunity for you to come through and talk about it. Yeah, I guess before we even get into the news itself. Do you want to just quickly, Barry, tell people a little bit about yourself if maybe they're just, meeting you for the first time and kind of what Premium Edition is real quick?
Sure. So my name is, as I said, is Barry Carenza. I'm a game industry analyst, game collector, and I'm a co-founder, one of the founding members, really, of Premium Edition Games, where we take digital-only titles and we release them physically for the Switch, for the PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 5. So yeah, we just had our new series, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, with new titles. But yeah, it's exciting stuff. It's exciting industry to be in, and it's, as always, it's fantastic to get to talk to you fine folks as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
really big thing happened in your life since the last time you were with us, my friend.
A little bit.
Yes.
Congratulations on the birth of your child, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, my firstborn. Maybe my only born. We'll see. But yeah, I finally have a son, so it's like, wow, now I'm actually a father. Like
Yes.
someone's actually depending on me now. Like, that's kind of crazy. That's not four-legged, like, oh crap,
Right.
what do I do? I'm really gonna have an influence on this person's life.
You
So
finally
clearly,
got your player 2.
no, I'm my player 3.
Player
I got
3.
a player 2.
You can
Player
finally
three.
play
My wife
Triforce
is my player
Heroes, really.
Play
That's
Triforce.
what it is.
I beat Triforce Heroes, all right?
Let's
with
go
with
there.
friends.
Yes. Yes.
But no, it's definitely an exciting road. He's almost 15 weeks old at this point, just over 3 months, and he's awesome. He is absolutely a fantastic child, and he's already watching me play video games and excited. He's like captivated. So I absolutely had to make sure to start him early, right away. So he watched me play Mortal Kombat 1. He really enjoyed the fatalities.
Let's go.
We had him watching like The Boys, had him watching, Castlevania. Just no problem. He's just like, okay. 3 months old, they're not gonna remember it anyways. But it's
Right. Yeah.
it's just funny to watch him. Like, we have video of him just like enthralled with Mortal Kombat. Like, yep, that's my boy.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
Watching Mortal Kombat 1, a kid after my own heart already. But so excited to talk to you about the Premium Edition Fall Direct. We've got a ton of fun topics that we're going to get your input on as well. But here at the top of every episode of All In, we have a very important matter of business to get to, and that is, of course, shouting out the wonderful men and women who help keep the lights on here at All In HQ, our amazing patrons.
That's right. We need to thank the wonderful friends and supporters at patreon.com/allinpodcast. Thanks so much to everybody over there who helps us out. There's a few bones our way for our hard work. Let's thank our Golden Banana Bunch, starting with Rob Yapel, Third Strongest Mole, Sean O'Baggins, Ashton, Tim A, a.k.a. Neo Prime 33, a.k.a. Nintendo Dad Number 4, Matt, Shy Guy City Murray, Phelan Ward, Bill Tucker, Marcus O'Neill, Liam D, Bowza, Gamer Jason, Andrew Wilkins, Foolish Fuji, and Alan, #look to the cookie. But moving into our Triforce tier, Eric. Need to thank Josh Vaughn, the godfather of Tingle Love Tuesday, John Fast Cummins of the Retro Logic podcast, as well as the On Topic Retro podcast, the Globetrotting Jet Set Nintendo Hub, and Sparky, who's here watching us live as well. So shout outs to Sparky at the Nintendo Hub here on YouTube. Adam Caparello, who's also here of the Retro Groove podcast, which I was on the most recent episode of, talking about Blink 182. Super fun. Shy Guy, the other half of our Shy Guy mod squad. Thank you, Shy Guy. Danielina Hosa, Dan and Luma, Solo Something, and the legend himself.
The legend himself, the man who I heard can actually blink 183 times. Uncle Randy.
Uncle Randy, thanks so much to everybody who supports us over there. We really appreciate you. You can also pick up some merch at bit.ly/allinmerch. Another way to throw some bones our way. If you don't have any bones to throw, that's okay. You can always support us for free by reviewing us if you're listening to the podcast feed. 5 stars, please. That would be very nice. And helps get our show in front of people. If you're watching on YouTube, the like, the subscribe, the comments, all that stuff. Free way to support the show. So thanks for that.
All that good algorithmic stuff that helps drive us up the ranks to get
algorithm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Algorithm. Oh, I never caught that.
Yeah, that algorithm.
Ooh, I like that. But the more people that watch us, the more people that get our content, the more people that know about Premium Edition. So all you Premium Edition fans, go ahead and like, subscribe, and all that good stuff too.
Yes. But without any further ado, my friends, shall we get into some news?
Yes, we've got a lot of fun to get to. It's spooky season. I am hype up. So let's get into it. Barry?
Yes?
You had a little bit of a thing happen this week, didn't you, sir?
Yeah, just a little bit. The culmination of multiple months of my life.
Little teeny tiny Premium Edition Fall Direct here, which I've got up on the screen for YouTube watchers. Barry, tell us about this new sort of news drop from y'all.
Yeah.
40 minutes worth of stuff to dive into here. So what can we expect coming in the future from you guys?
Yeah, it was a big one. It was a lot bigger than I expected. Fun fact, it was actually supposed to be even bigger, but we had to cut things back just because we didn't want to do too much. But no, we wanted to talk about our next wave, our next series of titles, which is our 7th series of Switch titles. And the first one, which is on screen now, which is Anuchard, which is something we teased back in the spring. Yep. And this is a game from Stellar Knoll and from Freedom Games. And this is an awesome Zelda-like action RPG where it has an aesthetics of like Moon RPG. The writing is the equivalent of like Mother. It's very humorous. And it's this interesting post-apocalyptic world where you have to try and figure out what's going on and unravel the mysteries by delving into these dungeons to save souls who become trapped and kind of rescue them and piece together the world bit by bit while fighting these great bosses and doing these puzzles. And it's just a phenomenal world to explore. And I'm really excited that we're able to bring this out because like all the games we've put out, I just couldn't stop playing this when I was like, oh my God, I am hooked. As a huge Zelda fan, I'm hooked. Such a good game. So that is up for pre-order right now, standard and retro. And it's one of my favorites that we've
looks
done.
Cool, man. Yeah, looks really cool.
Getting kind of like Moonlighter vibes, obviously the Zelda type vibes. I'm interested to check out this writing you were talking about. Obviously, a lot of people out there, big fans of Mother, the Earthbound series. So yeah, I saw you guys tease this during the spring. Really, really excited to check this one out.
Yeah, this one's really good. So I see you're up here on the NES side. So we did some NES games. So first one here is Oratio, which is Oratorio is this is from John of Orebody Inc., who did Orebody Binder's Tale.
Yep.
And this is like Rez on the NES, which
it looks sick.
Is insane to think of Rez on the NES, and it works so well. We were all shocked, like, how is this going to work? Like, really, on the Nintendo Entertainment System, this is going to be bad. And we played it, and we're like, truthfully, the trailer doesn't even sell it as well as the gameplay. It's just so good, and it works. So we talked with John, and we're like, oh, this even has a special cartridge. Like the cartridge itself is a special type of cart to make sure that the game runs and it saves, because there's just so much content, so much music. And we said, yeah, we're gonna do it right. So we're honored to be working with them again. And this is also up for pre-order right now. I think we have maybe 3 silvers left as of earlier today. Like the silver editions are really stupid limited. So they're a little bit more, but if you're the collector, there's like I think 3 left. So it's very, very tight. But we do have more of the standards.
Yeah, I was a big fan
Yeah,
of
man.
Tempest back in the day, and this obviously, Tempest, Res, games like that, proper like arcade rail shooters. It looks really, really, really amazing.
Yeah, so we're happy to be working again with him to bring this out. And then we did two more surprise NES games. These ones are coming later on. Jim and Dale: The Legend of Wheat and Stiff is the first one, and this is like a Zelda style adventure, but it's based off of the real band, which is so cool because Clay, the developer from Cal Games, this is the second game we've done from them. They did Bobby 6-7, which we revealed last time. This game, the music, everything is just awesome. And what's cool is when we worked with him, he went and redid a lot of the game for the physical that's exclusive to the physical. And it was to the point that this trailer, brand new, he's like, I added so much new content. I had to re-record the trailer, I had to replay through the game to get the trailer to emphasize like the new stuff. And it's quirky, it's weird. You see like Ski Free there, like this is one of those games where you're just gonna be going through it, and everything you expect, throw it out the window. Like you're gonna get unexpected stuff. It's so good. And this is coming later in the winter. So we haven't set a date yet, but we are like, you know what, let's tease it, let's show it off, because it deserves a direct, not just a shadow drop.
Nice. Almost looks like a demake of like The Tourist or something. Gives me like Star Tropics vibes.
Very Star Tropics, yeah.
I'm all over this.
And then we, when talking to him, he's like, well, I have a sequel, because he had done a sequel. So we said, oh, well, we got to do that too. And what's funny is that the sequel, he did, like, no one really goes out there and says, I want to copy Zelda 2 and Castlevania 2, because they're like the black sheep. And he's like, I'm going to do the Zelda 2 thing and make my game completely different. Instead of Zelda, it's now a beat 'em up. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool though. You get a different genre. And again,
he's fighting a goose like you do.
Fighting a goose like you do.
Like you do. Again, it's the same quirkiness, same great soundtrack, and it's what I like about it is it's also standalone. So if you're like, I don't really like Zelda type, but I really love like Double Dragon, okay,
yeah,
you can just pick this one up and you can still enjoy it. But we're teasing just what we're going to do with the physicals when we reveal them, and we're going to do something special because it's 2 games of the same series.
Nice.
Yes.
Can we maybe expect them to be part of the same, or are we not ready to reveal anything yet?
They'll be separate cartridges.
Okay.
But there won't be a multi-pack. I don't think the Nintendo can even do multi-pack cartridges.
We're trying to blow up NESs all over the world.
But we might be doing a multi-pack packaging for them.
Right.
So we're definitely toying, but we're also going to have separate. We want, if you only are interested in the second game or just the first game, we want to make sure that you can just pick those up as well. But it's really cool because Jim and Dale 2 had the same treatment. There's brand new stuff only available in the physical. Like even the downloadable ROM that you can pick up and try, it's different than the version that's going to be on the physical. And I love when developers are willing to do special versions for us for the preservation.
Nice.
I love it, man. Yeah, that looks great. All right, what do we got here next? We got this premium entertainment system upcoming releases section.
That's what we just went through.
Oh, just everything. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like a section there. You guys kind of rearray. This is something y'all had already talked about previously, but you guys are working with Poglings.
Yes.
Which is upcoming, and that's very exciting. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I was talking with Chad Tronic. They're still working on it, and they're gonna have more to share later this year. Is the hope? And I said, okay, like whenever you do, let us know. We'll share it out there. But it is still being worked on. Great guy, great team. We're happy to be working with them. So that is coming, and there might be a backer kit store coming down the road, but
Yeah.
nothing's up yet. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get them to say, put it up, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool because I like that y'all are working with these kind of like, getting in on the ground floor and supporting these Kickstarter, sort of projects here.
Yeah, and
And
Podlings
y'all,
is definitely a very ambitious indie title as well. So
yeah,
I'll be very, very interested to see that one when it pops out as well.
Yeah, we're really excited for it, and we've only played the early demo, so
Hmm.
we we put our faith behind it, just like everybody that supported it. So we're waiting
Yep.
to check it out ourselves.
Very nice.
nice. Okay,
So
what do we got here?
next up we have Crystalla. This one is near and dear to me personally. This is another Kickstarter that we were able to do the physical for on PS5. We're doing the PS5 physical, and this is it's Souls-like action RPG where you play as a cat of different cat races, and because you're a cat, you get the ability to climb up onto roofs and walk along wires and jump down and attack and do
And
different
knock stuff
acrobatics.
off shelves and
Of course,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And you got different magic systems, and it's just this great world and great lore that they crafted. Astral Clock Tower Studios did a phenomenal job, and they've really made this their own. Like I said, the Kickstarter was super successful. There is a Kickstarter exclusive for this, the physical, and that is available. There's a backer kit up right now. You can still pick up that physical. You can still support
Cool.
the team. I do know it's going into early access this
okay.
winter. I think maybe December. They're going to start with an early access on PC and keep adding to it, and it's not coming to consoles until it's done, and that's obviously when we're going to do the physical. But
Yep.
there's
Right.
also a demo to the game, a good chunk demo, like a good hour long, hour and a half long demo
Nice.
that you can play on Steam. That's available right now, and the team is hard at work making this game even better and better. And I'm so happy to be working with them, and it's always great to be a part of a Kickstarter and then have it be a success too. It's like, oh, good,
Yeah.
Like
So here's my thing, Barry. At the end of this trailer, this thing's coming to Switch.
yes.
Wow.
So this is coming to Switch. When I talked with them about it, they have a team that is confident that they could port it to Switch. If it can't be ported to Switch for whatever reason, Switch 2, it'll be switched over to Switch 2 because by the
Yeah.
time it comes out, the Switch 2 will be able to handle it. But they're aiming for Switch for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bal's in the chat here. I want to be a cat. Well, you can check
Yeah.
out the Steam demo.
Yeah.
Check out the Steam demo.
Check out the demo, man. Yeah, when I saw that Switch logo, I was like, hold on a second, what? There's not a ton of games like this on Switch, so there'll be, I think
Yeah.
if this comes out Switch 2, whatever the case may be, I think the Nintendo audience is going to be really into this, man. It's kind of underserved. We don't
Yes.
get a lot of stuff like this in Nintendo land. So,
Really,
Yeah.
the only 3D one I think is Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch.
pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, the people are starving for it. So it'll be great to have, and if anyone can make it happen, I know this team will. I mean, this is a small team. This is their first game, and you could see already how ambitious
it
it
looks
is.
sick. Ton
Yeah.
of polish to it already.
Yeah.
So very
Yeah.
cool, man.
So
Cool.
then the next one we teased is a Kickstarter we've been doing for a long time. Sunshine
Yep.
Manor was
Yep.
a Kickstarter we did back in 2020. It was our first ever one. We've been teasing it. People have been asking, where is it? And we told them we were waiting on the port. The game finished, I think, a year and a half ago. The game actually finished, and it
Mhm.
came out on PC. But then the porting process to Switch and other consoles was so long. And we're like, well, we're not going to take money until the porting is done. Like, we're just not. So we got news that they had finished the porting, and we said, okay. I was talking with Paul, the developer from Fossil Games. Said you've got to do the reveal. You've been doing this with me for a long time. I said, it's not me. This is your job. So he put together a phenomenal video to tease that it was just another update, and then psyching everyone out like, hey, it's coming. And I got a couple messages from fans who were looking forward to this game, like, oh my god, like, you got me. Like, I was not ready for that, and I was so happy because that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to just completely subvert expectations, making people think it was just another update. But sure enough, this is joining our Series 7 this Halloween. It's coming October 30th. And this is 2 games in one. And Sunshine Manor was the Kickstarter, but there was a previous game called Camp Sunshine. So you're getting both games on here. And what's cool is we tried to go with the double-sided. So the retro box is double-sided, where one side is Sunshine Manor and the other side is Camp Sunshine.
Nice.
The deluxe version that we have is the strategy guide. One side is Camp Sunshine. You flip it over. It's a double-sided strategy guide. So the other side is Camp Sunshine. And
That's pretty sick.
even the steelbook that comes with the deluxe is flip-sided, one's for each game. And the thing is the artwork is done by Graham Humphreys, who is very famous for doing horror posters. So
look at that art. I
Yeah.
love that art, man.
Yeah,
Look at that.
I'm
So
also
we're-
a sucker for steelbooks too, but that looks really cool.
yeah, I'm a sucker for steelbooks. We're like, we got to do a steelbook on this. Like, this is our longest running. Like, will this ever come out? Kind of game. And it is. And we said this is perfect for Halloween too. Like, talk about spooky.
Oh,
And these
yeah.
are 16-bit RPGs. Like, these aren't like scary in the sense of like Resident Evil. I'm gonna crap myself or Silent Hill, but it's it still has that horror vibes, especially the bear. The bear's got me a
Yeah,
couple
dude.
times with the jump scare. Like, oh man. And I love like the artwork that they did that Graham did, where the bear is like a B movie bear, like the new Winnie the Pooh horror movie that they did. Like, it just looks so bad it's good. Like, done on purpose. Like, I love it. I love the aesthetics of that. It just looks so cool. So we're happy to be bringing both of these together. They're both going to be on cart. So you get 2 games in one. So if you're looking for something spooky to go for, this is definitely you're gonna need the deluxe. There you get the steelbook. You get both the Graham
Yeah.
Humphrey artwork on both sides,
Oh,
and you can see the guide too. That's one guide, but it's double-sided, so you flip it over. So it's 2 books back to back. So you're getting
man.
the full guide for both games.
is this version limited?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. All our retros are limited. Very limited actually for the retros, and the deluxe is even going to be more limited because it's a little more expensive, and we don't want to say, oh, we're going to do like 5,000 of them and then have them sitting in a warehouse because we can't sell 5,000. We want to we want it to be something special for the collectors, and this is a special game, and this is a special version, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, I got to go for that deluxe because we haven't done a deluxe since our 2nd series. So it's like, when's another deluxe coming? It's like, well, the reason we haven't is the books. Like, even now, Raji has shipped and the collector's edition has not yet, because we're still waiting for that art book to come via freight shipping, and freight shipping is slow. And these books are thick, they're heavy. We can't afford to send them via plane. That's going to be way more expensive.
Right.
So we're stuck waiting for these ships that they take like 3 to 4 months, and there's porting problems. And so we're just sitting there waiting. We don't want people to wait too long. So if you go for the deluxe, there will be a slight delay just in the books, but we're trying to get ahead of it. But still, these are things that come out of our control. But
Yeah. I can vouch for the fact that Raji has shipped.
oh yeah, there you go. We got the retro. Yeah. Raji pre-orders have shipped. We'll have Second Chance coming up with more Rajis if you missed it, but the collector's edition didn't ship.
Yeah.
That's the one. But yeah, the standards and the retro did ship, and they came out really good.
Yeah.
Like, really good. I love the embossed. I love the foil. Like,
Yeah.
it pops.
And I really like this game too. Raji was a really cool
Great
action
game.
adventure when it came out a couple of years ago. I was day one on that, and when they did, and the Raji was specifically the enhanced edition that Notting Head went back and completely like retooled the game and made it even better. So, I love it. I'm also a sucker for having like the whole game on cards, all updates, all DLC, and everything like that. So I love being able to have that. Yeah,
that's what we always strive and do with all of our releases. So that's like I'll tell you a little fun fact about the previous series, Series 6, which is Wife Quest and Super Dungeon Maker. There was actually supposed to be a 3rd game. So the 3rd game that was supposed to be there is a game that I can't talk about yet because we haven't announced it. And we were all set to go. We were talking with the developers, and we're like, all right, so this is the final update of the game. And they said, what do you mean final update of the game? We have two DLC patches planned, like big ones. I'm like, what? Oh, we can't release this game yet. Like, we've got to wait. We've got to push back. So the fallback was actually supposed to be Anuchard. Anuchard was supposed to join, and we were talking with Freedom Games, and we just didn't get the contract signed in time because we didn't want to rush. It takes time to do all the artwork and the production because we don't reuse pieces, and we were able to obviously get the contract signed. We had it signed in time to tease it, but we didn't get it in there. So that's one of the things we will do. We will absolutely push back a game. We'll sign it early, but we'll push back a game until it's done because we
Right.
truly do our best. And
Content complete. Yep.
we can't say there's never going to be a patch down the road that's a bug is found and like things out of our control, but we're going to do our best. And that's one of the reasons Super Dungeon Maker, people are like, when's Super Dungeon Maker coming? And that's been delayed. And the reason is the game's not done. You know, if
Right.
you boot it up right now, it says like this is still like an early access. And we were told it was going to be launched done. That was part of the contract. Like, or that's how we got it up there. And now we're like, we can't release this like this on a physical, not yet. So there's a big update I think coming in November, and they're constantly working on it. That game may not be fully content complete when it launches, but we want it in a better state than where it is right now. We want more
Yeah.
content,
Mhm.
especially because we know it's coming. We're like, we know we want to get it.
Right.
So we said in the direct, like, please, we ask for everyone's patience on that, because we're trying to make the best physical we can. That's plain and simple. And we don't want to release it and then go, oh, well, now this big update in November. Is that going to be on the cart? Look, Nintendo's getting that flack right now with Mario Kart 8. But you know this update's coming. That's not Wave 6 is not on the cart. What the heck? Pokemon is the same thing. You know,
Right.
Wave 1 is on the cart, but Wave 2 isn't. And again, we can't promise it. Eventually, we're going to have to print it. We're going to say, like, it's going as is. But we know there's content coming, and we're like, we don't want to be in that shoes. We want to delay as long as we can to get it to be as complete as we can make it.
Yeah, that's one of the things
Yeah.
I've always liked about what you guys do with Premium Edition is like Wonderling DX. I've got the entire game, that massive DX update, because they had multiple content patches, and being able to have all of that on cart means a lot to me, especially with a special game like that.
Wonderling we signed when it was just Wonderling. And they told us when we signed it, they said, we have one update coming. And we said, okay. And then they were talking about doing a few other little updates. And originally, when we were talking, the Wonderling DX was supposed to be exclusive to the physical. Like, that was going to be the physical version exclusive. Then they wound up making the digital version as well, which we're fine with, whatever. But we had to wait for them to give us okay, this is all the content. All right, now we're going to do Wonderling. Because we don't mind signing a game early and sitting on it. And we don't want to rush any developer to say, come on, you've got to finish up. We will hold the game before we put it up for pre-order, with every exception except for Super Dungeon Maker, because that was one of the stipulations. The publisher was like, you got to put it up when the digital goes up for Switch, or I'm going with another company. And we really wanted that game because that game is a lot of fun. And we're like, all right, like, we have no choice in the matter. So we're really excited for when everyone gets to try that and play that in its complete form. And again, if you get the digital version, I hope you're having fun with it, because it is a blast. And I'm excited we got to do that one as well.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Well, we got a couple other things to talk about from this.
Yeah, we have a whole nother game on the Switch, which is part of our Series 7, which is Lonesome Village.
Yes.
This game is if you take Animal Crossing with The Legend of Zelda and you put them together, and this one took me completely by surprise. I was like, wait, I saw the trailer from Nintendo. I contacted them. Ogre Pixel, fantastic group, all from Mexico too. The entire team is Mexican, which you don't usually see. And they provided us codes. We played it, and we were just like, this game is so much fun, and it kind of feels like cozy niche that we haven't really hit yet with our releases, and we like, all right, this is perfect because you get the adventure, you get the ability to explore, you get the farming, you get the ability to decorate, you have this really cool story where the entire village, it's called Lonesome Village, everyone's gone, and you had to go into this tower and solve these puzzles, these Zelda style puzzles, to rescue the villagers. And as they come back to town, they give you new quests and you get new items, and you get stronger to go back into the tower. And it's just a really, really cool game because you get like a mix of both worlds. You get that cozy, I'm gonna relax, take it easy, and there's no stress, but you also get the mind-bending puzzles and the gameplay of Zelda, and it just really it blew us away, and we're like, oh yeah, we really want to do this game. We really want to get that itch filled, and we were able to bring this in, and yeah, bringing this into Series 7 was really cool.
Nice.
I'm glad y'all are doing this, man. It's a cool game. Their new game just came out.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah,
talk
little
about it a
stick.
little bit more, but yeah, Tiny
Yep.
Sticker Tail just
Mhm.
came out this week. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it just came
cool.
out. And both Tiny Sticker Tail and as well as this were both Kickstarters as well. Both
Yep.
successful. So who knows? Maybe that one will get a physical down the road. But
Who
the
knows?
Ogre Pixel is really really cool, and really talented team, and to be able to bring this in, and again on screen it's all there, all different art. We always try and do different art, and I love the way like the retro box on this looks. I just think it just screams like
Yeah, man.
N64. Like it just to me just screams
Yeah.
N64.
It's true. Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, like Paper Mario 64 looking, yeah, box
Yeah.
there. Really cool, man. I
Yeah,
love
so
it.
this one is one of those, and I saw like mixed things and like in the direct. Some people like, oh, it's not my cup of tea, and other people like, oh my god, this is like the type of game I've been looking for, and that's something where we try and diversify. We don't
Yeah.
always release the same games or the same type of games because we like all different kinds of stuff, and we want to cater to everybody. We just don't want to cater to one particular type. And my thing is, if a game is not for you, nothing wrong with it. But
Yeah.
try for the challenge, right? Go for the patch. And I've
That
been
challenge patch. Yeah.
I
You
saw
guys are
so
still
many
doing that.
still doing it. Every game still has it. I saw so many people with like Super Blood Hockey where they're like, oh, I don't like sports games, but so I just did this for the patch and I completed it. But now you've introduced me to one of my new favorite games, and I can't put this down. And I'm like, that's the point.
Yeah.
Like, we do so few games that if we're putting out a game, that means we're standing behind it. That means we really love it, and we think you'll love it too. So we hope that you give each of these a chance.
Yeah. Lonesome
But
Village. I don't know. I wouldn't say you've never, ventured into the cozy territory. They Bleed Pixels was incredibly cozy to me.
oh yeah,
Very
very
cozy.
very
Very
cozy,
cozy
game.
game.
Very cozy
Yeah.
game. The closest I would think would be maybe Ran in Your Parade. But
Yeah,
even that's
yeah,
a
that's
very
true.
different style game,
Yeah.
completely different style.
Really cool though. I really like it. Rain on Your Parade. It's a
Yeah,
really unique type of game.
very unique.
We did of course see the return of the hype
The hype
button.
button.
Yes.
Uh,
So the hype button is always fun to do because it's always a challenge of who's going to push it, how we're going to introduce it, what are we going to do with it, and that falls on me to figure this out. And I didn't realize in the third series direct when I introduced the hype button, which was my idea, and no one else understood it when I introduced it. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, it'll work, and it worked. And what I didn't realize is I was writing myself into a corner where now I had to do something different every time. And I'm like, oh man, like eventually I'm gonna have to like repeat something and call it out, like do the fourth wall, like, oh, we've done this before or something like that. But honestly, one of the hypes, and this I could tell you this because this is never gonna happen at this point, but the idea behind we were gonna have a summer series, and the summer series didn't happen because I had a child, and Jeff, he moved to
No, that little
Hawaii.
thing,
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, so we had to push and say, all right, we're just going to do a fall. But the idea behind the summer direct, because we were promised, I shouldn't say we were promised by Fossil Games that Sunshine was going to come in the fall. The idea is that in the summer direct there was not going to be an update for Sunshine, and the hype button was going to appear, and the lights were going to go out. It was going to be black, and the bear would appear, and the bear would like stab it, and that was going to be the hype teasing Sunshine. And I can talk about that now because that's never come to fruition because obviously Sunshine, we did a different
Right.
thing, but
Yep.
that was the idea, and I had that down. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great, and it now goes into the floor, like never used ideas.
But you shouldn't have said that now because you can't use that idea ever for any game now.
I could use it for a different game, but if we have to have the right game for it.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where I was like, oh man, like I thought that would be really cool to again subvert expectations. What's going on? Like arguing over who's gonna push it, and the bear comes in. I want do it with a knife. But that's on the cutting room floor. That direct never came. Yeah, so it's interesting, it's just it sucks because it's like a baby. It's like I wrote that, but that never came out. But there's a lot of changes that have happened to directs in the years of different things that have come to fruition. Positive and negative in terms of what changed. We actually wrote an entire direct for Rack and Ruin, which never got its own direct. We just put it out there because we didn't have time to record it. But I wrote an entire direct just for one game with updates, and I have the script. The script exists. I even had a hype button thing for that. We were gonna tease. What were we teasing with that? I think it was. I think the tease was actually Rack and Ruin. I think it was just gonna be an update direct, and the hype button was gonna be Rack and Ruin surprise game coming out, and yeah, it just never came. So I'm not saying how that one worked because I have not reused that one. That one has not reused yet. So
Nice. Well, we did eventually press the hype button, Barry.
yes,
The
yes,
the hype
collectively,
button did get pressed one way or
did.
another. And what was on
Oh,
the other side of that, my friend?
the other side was a game I'm so excited for, Carl. This game, if you've never played it, this is Mega Man style action platformer done so well. These very, very well crafted levels. And this is from Morningstar Studios, who did Robot Named Fight, Matt
Yep.
Bittner, as well as Andrew Kennedy, Nintendo himself. So, a lot of people have even asked about this, and because we're really good friends with Matt when this came out, we're like, Matt, like, we need a meeting. We want to talk about Carl. So we've had this signed pretty much since either when it came out or before it even came out. But we were like, all right, we were actually planning on doing it possibly in Series 5 last year, and also possibly in the spring. And they told us flat out, hey, there's an update. We're doing an update. It's going to be a free update. It's got a new content, and like we talked about before, we wanted that all on the card. So we said, all right, as awesome as this game is, we are going to sit on this game until it is done. And that free content hasn't come out yet. That's why we're teasing it for the spring. So they have time to work on it. In fact, Drew himself took time away from working on it to watch the direct and then went back to work on it. But it's great that we were able to do that, and we were able to bring this game out because this was my indie game of the year last year. Truly,
Nice.
it is such a good game. Have you played this yet? Have you played Carl?
I have not.
haven't. No.
No.
Oh, it's awesome.
It looks sick
And
though. Like
it
I love
is.
like it looks like it like as does some kind of like genre bending stuff in
Yeah, I
there.
saw some Arkanoid type stuff.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
some.
So there's arcades
Yep.
inside the robot city that you're in, and you could find the arcade floppy disks, I believe, and the floppy disks have the arcades on it, and you could use those to play, and they're not real. It's not really Arkanoid. It's a new version of Arkanoid. It's an in-universe version of Arkanoid, so there's no copyright. But there's more than just Arkanoid. There's other games too, and they're
Yeah.
completely bonus. They're completely, like the Robotron. You saw the
Robotron,
in
yeah.
there as well. Those are completely optional. You don't have to play them. It's just something that Matt threw in there, which I love, and it's very meta. And there's a lot of
This
Mega
right
Man.
here.
Yeah.
This right here is what caught my eye. This like 3D perspective.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world is going on, man?
Chasing a
So-
kaiju in
I gotta
in
play
a
this.
tornado truck.
I can't tell you anything about that, but all
I
I
gotta
can say
play it,
is,
man.
is absolutely worth playing. And again, there's content coming, free content from Nintendo later on, and there's it's just awesome. So I look forward to the physical. We have some really cool things planned, and just excited to talk about that.
Yeah,
Nice.
man. That's
And then
awesome.
there was one more thing in the direct, which actually
Yep.
was a tease, and that was a tease to a date, which has now since passed. So I don't know if you saw the announcement or not.
I don't think I have. What's going
Mm.
on here? Tell me about it.
Yeah. So if you go to our YouTube, we released a video October 5th at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you could bring that up, and
Oh, hang
we
on.
could do a live reaction right now to you guys seeing it.
Absolutely can. Yeah, hold up.
It is
can
a
do
brand
this.
new physical game.
Oh, snap. Hold up. Let me pull
Game.
this up. Hang on. What is
Yeah,
this?
brand new physical game that we are coming next year.
A little like a
Oh,
little Slay
okay.
the Spire energy going on here. Gordian Quest?
Gordian Quest.
Oh, this is coming out
Okay.
October 26th.
Digitally, yes.
Digitally, yeah. Okay.
Coming out digitally
Over the
October
top.
26th from our friends over at Modus Games.
Oh,
Okay.
And,
Modus. Okay. I'm a
and
big
they've
fan of them.
Yeah, so they're doing the digital, and it's up for pre-order right now digitally. So definitely check it out if you're interested digitally. But we will be doing the physical coming next year. We want to make sure it's complete, everything is good. There's a big
That's
PC
a
game.
big, yeah.
Yeah.
This is like a third. There's multiple modes. There's a 30-hour story mode. There's like a roguelike mode where you can just constantly play over and over. So it's always changing. There's multiple characters, multiple classes,
God, there's a
and
lot going on right now.
yeah, this is a very complicated and hilarious and fun game.
Did that say
Like
700 cards?
yes, over 700 cards. Yeah, so
That-
this
it
is
looks pretty sick, actually.
And that does look really
I'm into
cool.
that.
so this is like I said,
Gordian
this is a brand new thing. This is we were actually going to be revealing this as the hype button. One more thing, and talking with Modus. Modus was like, "We're gonna be talking about it on the 5th, so could you not reveal it right before us?" So we were like, "All right." So we do try and work with all our partners. So we made the option to say, "All right, well, we're gonna still tease it. We're still going to tease it because we didn't want to delay the direct even a few days because that all our schedule every week is a brand new thing and we're launching games on Monday. So
Yeah.
we're like we're going to have the direct the last week of September, and we moved it to have Chard be the exact same day, just so it's a little closer to this announcement. But yeah, this is one that we're really excited. Mixed Realms as developers, and we've played on PC, and we're like, oh my god! So I'm hoping it translates to the Switch, great. But like a lot of things, there might be some bugs or tweaks or stuff. So we didn't want to do the physical right away. We're like, oh,
Right.
we'll give them some time to work out all those kinks so
Yep.
that you get the
The
perfected
most balanced,
version
yeah.
on part.
And the trailer said coming in 2024, so this isn't part of Series 7.
No, this is not part of Series 7. This is a tease. We have not set a time, so this is this could be Series 8, this could be Series 9. We just want to make sure, but it is coming next year, and this is an awesome game.
I'll
And
put that on my calendar.
we were stoked. We're like, oh man, like to be able to bring this to the Switch physically is awesome. Like
Very cool.
and no one's heard of it. It's like it slept on this game. Like it's one of the many that just went to Steam and so few people played, and we tried it. We said, how has no one grabbed this game yet? Like we gotta do this. So we're
like
very
there's
happy.
so many games out there that it can be really easy for even amazing games to fall under the radar. So yeah, I'm glad you're not letting this one go. It looks really, really cool. Again, that looks like a ton of content for one game. And I haven't I never properly played Hearthstone. I never properly played Slay the Spire. Adam in the chat's like this recovering Hearthstone addict is excited.
Yeah, man.
You'll love this then. You will really love this. This is way more in depth than I was expecting when I first played it, and I was like, oh my god, like this is so good. I had to pull myself away because when testing games, I can't really get too into it because I'm testing a bunch of different games, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to put like 300 hours in this game and go, yeah, we need to sign. I need to put out my thoughts, as soon as
Right.
possible and say, hey guys, like this is a yes or this is a no. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't pull myself away. I think I played like 5 hours, and I'm like, okay, I'll play more when we got our version out, because it's so good. So we're really happy to be working with Mixed Realms and Modus to bring this out physically.
Very nice. So you guys are busy. That's what we're taking away
Yes.
from this.
Few things few irons in the fire.
It's a few irons in the fire. We're in the process of getting the rest of Series 5, Love 3, and Eagle Island Twist starting to be shipped out.
Yeah.
Pre-orders. We've got second chance sales going up this holiday for those games, for Raji, for They Bleed Pixels. Wife Quest is going in development. We're going to be putting up Rack and Ruin for PS4, which is a game we announced way back in the spring. and we had to put the brakes on it because we were alerted that there was a bug in the PS4 version of the game that's not in the Switch version that prevents you from getting a trophy. And our challenge cards are get the platinum and you get a platinum patch. So it became impossible. And the developer
Mm-hmm.
did not tell us about this. I don't know if they were aware, but we talked with LifeSpark Entertainment and they were very nice to go back and they fixed that bug. So the digital version is fixed too. So now that it's fixed, we're like, all right, now let's do the physical. So that's going up later this holiday, just in one of the off weeks, because we never got to do it because we didn't want to put money up, take people's money and then release a game with a major bug like that. We said,
Right.
oh, we're not going to even touch the money until it's fixed. So now that it's fixed, we're going to put it up. And we'll have more PlayStation stuff coming next year. And the other PlayStation games, like Rack and Ruin was like a holdup in doing the production because we wanted to do them all together. And we're like, oh, this monkey wrench right there. So we've got working on that and getting those out. They're still up on pre-order. Music Racer Ultimate and Phoenotopia Awakening for PlayStation. Don't sleep on those either. Great games.
Cool, man. Yeah. So we got, like the things that are available in the, there's Eric's Phoenotopia right there.
Yeah, we have the PlayStation 4 version up too.
Yeah, man. So we got, so Lonesome Village and Anichard are coming for pre-order this month, right?
No, they're all this month. So
Right.
Anichard is up right now. Lonesome Village is I think the 16th of October, and then
the Sunshine Manor stuff.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
So all three of those games are coming in this month in October. Off weeks of those because it's every other Monday. We're gonna have stuff, second chance sales. Oratorio is still up for pre-order right now on the NES, so you can grab that. And we have more surprises coming down the road. We've got, Weed and Stiff 1 and 2, as well as maybe something for Black Friday, Rack and Ruin PS4. So a lot to look forward to.
Very nice.
Premium Edition games.com, I believe, is the website for that.
Absolutely.
So definitely be sure to check. I'll make sure links are available for y'all to easily go and check that out too. Eric can vouch. He's got, his premium edition games sitting there in arm's reach, apparently.
I got Phoenotopia, I got Cathedral, I got Daybleed Pixels, I got Wonderling, I got Raji. So
appreciate the support.
And honestly, like one of the things that you guys do that I really, really like is like these slip covers for these games are so cool. They're so high quality. You got kind of the lenticular stuff. You got the just look at that. Look at that. That's just really cool. If you're listening to the audio version of this, I apologize you can't see, but I just always really, really liked, like your guys, the quality of your guys' work when you send stuff out. It's not just a Switch game case within a sleeve. There's actual thought and care and intent put into these, and there's some of the nicest looking boxes and sleeves on my shelf. So yeah, definitely go check out premiumeditiongames.com.
That's shout out to our wonderful production team, Jeff and Tristan, who do an amazing job over there. And we always strive to do our best to not reuse any piece of art. We try and make every piece unique, so you're getting all this different art showcased. Because, it's a canvas. It's like, hey, why be lazy about it? Let's have some fun with it. And we like that. We like to be able to highlight that. And the developers like that, too.
Yeah.
Bowser's already got the demo for Crystalla downloaded.
Oh, yeah, you've already got Bowser. You already got Bowser playing Crystalla.
Good. It's a great game. Hopefully you enjoy it. Even if you're not good with Souls-like games, just figuring out, it's trial and error. Souls-like, it's not like you're gonna go in there and I'm gonna win it one shot. You're going to die. Like that's the whole point. It's
and cats have how many lives?
9.
Yeah, that's right. Supposedly, right? So it's thematic.
I will definitely let Astro Clock Tower know that live they did this. They're going to be thrilled. They're very, very passionate developers, and they're going to be absolutely thrilled that even one person checks out their demo, because it is a passion project. It's their first title, and they're putting all their eggs into it. They've been working tirelessly for the past 4+ years on it. So.
I got it on my queue, man. I'm gonna have to check it out myself because I love Souls games. Again, premiumeditiongames.com. Definitely check back there throughout the course of the month, where a bunch of stuff is going up for pre-order. Y'all are gonna want to get in on that.
And you
So
can
yeah,
definitely check out the Fall Direct itself if you want to see it in its
yes,
entirety, to see everything that we've just talked about. You can check out Premium Edition's YouTube channel for that, and for the little video that we just watched
Gordian Quest.
for Gordian
yeah,
Quest.
man.
Looks really, really cool. Thank you so much for showing up and talking some Premium Edition games with us, Barry. Would you be able to stick around to talk a little bit more news with us?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we
Nice.
got a couple things to talk about. It's actually, I guess this is a little bit in your wheelhouse too, Barry. We can kind of quickly hit on this because this made some waves this week. Little news from Nintendo. This tweet: as of early April 2024, online play and other functionality that uses online communication will end service for Nintendo 3DS and Wii U software. Thank you very much for your continued support of our products. They have a link to their FAQ where they go into a little bit more detail, especially on some things. They clarified that, like, hey, so things like Street Pass are still going to work, but like things that have like online requirement, things like Nintendo Badge Arcade, are not going to work after April 2024. And obviously online functionality for a lot of games, like we kind of offhandedly mentioned Triforce Heroes, that game not going to be able to play online, anymore after April 2024. And of course, we saw, earlier this year, the closure of those eShops, and it's an unfortunate thing, man. A lot of games are gonna, Kid Icarus Uprising's multiplayer is amazing. I'm not gonna be able to do that anymore.
I mean, with the way we see the cyclical nature of this industry, I think eventually, especially when it comes to, Kid Icarus Uprising, Triforce Heroes, especially the first party games, we will eventually see them, I think, years down the road in some type of NSO or virtual console style service where, where that online multiplayer functionality has come back. But losing it in its native and its kind of intended original form still really stinks. And it is an unfortunate effect of the industry, because you can't just like we talk about the cloud. The cloud isn't the server, so you can't just create multiplayer. Like, that power is coming from somewhere, and that's costing Nintendo money. So eventually you've got to move that power. You've got to shift those resources to something else. And unfortunately, really cool things wind up getting lost in the transition. And we're just at this point of the lifespan of the 3DS and the Wii U. I do hope in the future, technology that has not been invented yet, we can reach the point where we can create some type of perpetual online connectivity, perpetual online functionality. But until then, I'll pour one out and appreciate the fact that the Wii U and the 3DS gave me a whole bunch of fun memories. I spent countless hours playing Mario Kart 8 Vanilla online on the Wii U. I spent a lot of time playing Smash 3DS online. So just another thing that we kind of knew in our hearts was coming, but still stings that it's here.
Yeah. R.I.P. Pour one out.
Pour one out. I love your optimism, Eric. I love it. I love that you
I'm
feel
trying.
that Nintendo first party games will get that second life and get at least be able to be played online down the road, if not, even though it won't be natively on the original system as intended, which sucks. Tell that to all the Fire Emblem fans that want to download the first Fire Emblem game on the Switch.
Right about that.
Tell them to people who want to play Mario 35. There's Nintendo themselves, even on the Switch, have taken content away, first-party content away, for no reason, and just eliminated it. And Nintendo's going to do what Nintendo's going to do. So I love the optimism, but I know, like, for me, this is a cautionary tale about online. And just, I'm glad that at least peer-to-peer still works. But so many people online's the future, online's the future. Yes, in a way, but there's this dirty side of the future. These games are now lost. This content is now lost. It's unplayable. I'm not saying a lot of people are still actively playing it. And in fact, a lot of people weren't. The only reason they're shutting this down is because it's costing them more to keep it up than it is to keep it on. Because if there was enough people still playing, they wouldn't shut it down because it's still making the money. But now it's no longer profitable. Let's kill it. And let's let people know in advance, which is at least nice. But that's the dangerous side of technology in 2023, is that when you become so reliant on digital and so reliant on online, that costs money. And these companies are showing that they're all hurting. Like, there's layoffs across the board. So many
Yeah.
companies, big companies,
Yeah.
Telltale, Naughty Dog, they're laying off staff. And, so hey, if these companies are laying off staff, you think they're going to put the money towards the online servers that no one's playing anymore? No.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I'm all for offline. I'm all for single player. I'm all for local, because it's not reliant, and obviously physical media because of
Of
that.
course.
Hmm.
But it sucks, like you say, so many games, third-party games, are definitely not getting another life that just created unique experiences, for better or for worse, that are now going to be,
Yeah.
going the way of the dodo. And then it'll just
Yeah.
be, it's going to be like that meme. It'll be like, oh, back in the day, we had this device that had glasses-free 3D, and we were able to play online. It's like, okay, Grandpa, that's nice. Time to go home.
Let's get you to bed. Yeah, yeah. And it's sad for people like us that did engage, but like the reality is, it's like, it's not like I was still busting out Xenoblade X and playing that online yesterday. Like, it's not the amount of people that it's more of like a preservation thing, and the fact that these games are not complete after this point. Like, you're not able to get the full experience. Xenoblade X is a great example. Like, there is actual content playing that game online that you can only earn that way, or at least only earn in like a reasonable manner that way. So like, that's super unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
It's entire features that are completely unplayable. Yeah, you could still do Triforce Hero like ad hoc or whatever. But like, that's like that's that game's entire thing. It's a multiplayer game. Yeah, you
Yep.
can play it single player, but like, it kind of sucks. You got to play that multiplayer, and you can't do that online anymore. It's unfortunate.
It is.
So,
It is.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, just like you were talking about, Barry, big layoffs across the industry, a lot of resource reallocation, and especially now that we're getting reports about the Microsoft and Activision deal finally coming to a close. So we could be seeing a little bit of a shift in the industry coming into the final quarter of 2023. But my first thought when I saw this was, these are resources that Nintendo is shifting to Switch 2.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So that's complete speculation, obviously, but that was just my first initial thought, and maybe that's just my stupid optimism again.
No,
but
you know what? Honestly, Eric, I think you're onto something. I think you're right. I think Nintendo has historically not done online well, so they need all the resources they can get. And I think, I didn't even think about that, but I think you're probably spot on with that. And I think one of the biggest problems when looking at this from a preservationist perspective, or even a gaming perspective, is the newer generation doesn't care. And they
Right.
don't care because they're either stuck with, one or two games like Fortnite or Call of Duty, and that's all they're looking at, or they're moved on to something else, and this stuff hasn't become nostalgic for them.
they
And
haven't
once
lived
they're
long
in their
enough to appreciate the history.
Very much so. And when they're in their 20s and even 30s and go, oh man, remember that when we used to play on the Wii U or the 3DS? I wish we could do that again. That's when they're suddenly going to start to care, and it's going to wake up and be like, oh wow, like, all this is gone and never can come back. We should have done something more. We should have, figured out a way to preserve it, or, private servers, or alternate methods or something. But right now, everyone just like, oh, digital, fine. Like, why do I need to own a DVD? I've got Disney Plus and I've got Netflix. And oh, you want to watch that? Oh, that was taken off. Oh, and it's never coming back, and it's not streaming anywhere. You got to get the DVD. Oh, it's out of print because they only printed once. It's going to cost you $300 now to watch that one movie. If only you had bought physical media beforehand. Like, that's what's going
Yeah.
to happen. And it's the same with games. How many
Man.
games are not available, and the only way to get it is by buying very expensive physical cards.
If only
Yeah.
I'd gotten those Black Diamond Disney VHS back.
Oh,
in
that's
Yeah.
scam. Those are scams.
the day.
Goodness gracious.
You could have
It's
been rich.
unfortunate, man. Yeah, you
Could
could
have
have been. You could have been. Yeah, well, it's unfortunate, but this is the way it was always going to go.
Yeah.
The day was always going to come, man. So it's unfortunate, but it was always going to kind of happen. But
It's here. But
yeah,
But there are a few more, slightly better, slightly more fun stories for us to talk about here this week. Well, I don't know. Maybe scary, depending on your wallet, because Lego announced an official. Oh my God! There they
Let's
are up
go.
on screen.
Let's
Lego Animal
go.
Crossing is real, ladies and gentlemen, and we just got a small little 17-second snippet,
Quick little
but
teaser.
but wallets around the world cried that day.
Yeah,
But
man.
honestly, it looks really, really cool. Just potentially as minifigure collections. Just look at those Animal Crossing minifigs. They look genuinely really good, in my opinion. Isabelle and Tom Nook and a bunch of the villagers. And
They look
what
great.
Was that Captain there?
Yeah, you got Captain, you got my boy Marshall, who's my for forever been my favorite villager. Is that Rosie? I think that character's name is. You got Julian. I think that's Fauna. I don't remember that character's name,
Yeah.
but yeah, really cool. You can see the trees and the flowers. The little cherry and apples and stuff going on. The biggest thing for me that stood out about this tease is that it is not like the typical like what they've been doing with Lego Mario is it's been like play sets. This
Yeah.
looks like they are making like Animal Crossing Lego, not just a play set like diorama kind of style, making it fit within the Lego sort of format, and that actually excites me a lot more personally as like somebody who would much rather have like a diorama style Animal Crossing set versus something that is meant to be like played with like Mario. This looks so good. I can't wait.
I would personally, I would double down on some minifig collections. Put Gullivar in there. Put a bunch of the old Animal Crossing characters in there. Put Timmy, Tommy. Obviously, I'm getting Isabelle. Put Flick and the newer characters from newer. Just put them all in there. I'm good. But what are your thoughts, Barry? You big on Legos? Big on Animal Crossing?
I loved Legos growing up. I always have, but it's one of those that I stopped
Mm-hmm.
playing with as I got older. But my wife also really loves Legos and really happens to love Animal Crossing. So, and Fauna is her favorite villager. So when that was there, I was like,
Let's go.
oh, like we're gonna have to get that for sure. Now I don't know if they're gonna do blind bags or what, but like you, I'm really glad that they are doing, like you said, a more traditional
Right.
Lego, which I was really shocked to see. Um, because I didn't think it was going to be like that. Like I would think that they're gonna do like the Mario, and I never got Lego Mario. Like people say, oh, you're gonna get Lego Mario with such a big Mario fan. I'll be like, no, because those sets take up so much room.
They do.
And like putting them together and all this stuff. I'm not gonna do it. But there was a leak on the pricing. Let me try and send this to you. You can just throw it up there. I'm just taking a quick
Okay.
screenshot from my phone. I'm sending it to you via text. But supposedly, and you have to take this with a grain of salt. Supposedly, the SKUs leaked for Animal Crossing in the price, and all of it together is under $200. So if this leak is real, that's super cheap for Legos. Because
Hmm.
Legos are notoriously expensive. So it looks like, again, according to this leak, there's 5 different sets, that
Yeah.
and
Okay.
and it looks like probably the biggest one might be, the town center with Isabelle and Tom,
Yeah,
and
I
then
figured the town center would definitely be one of the things they did. Yeah.
so maybe you've got, Timmy and Tommy with Nookingtons, maybe you got the Able sisters, if
Yeah.
Captain's there, you have like the Captain Travel agency, and who knows what else. But again, you have to take this with a grain of salt. This is just a leaked.
If that's true, that's shockingly reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
shockingly reasonable. So,
yeah,
so I figured I'd share that.
for
But
Lego, yeah,
I'm excited for it because I've always wanted Lego Zelda, and I know that's
yeah.
gonna fully break me. Like if Hyrule
Yeah.
Castle, I don't have room for. I don't care. Kids out the door. Here's Lego Hyrule Castle. So that was the one saving grace for me with Mario, because when I saw it, I was like, I
Well,
don't
I
have
mean,
to touch it.
if you're excited about Lego, Nintendo, anything, even if Animal Crossing isn't your thing, the fact that it's very clear that Lego and Nintendo are expanding their
Oh, yeah.
partnership like this should be very exciting to anybody who has interest in potentially Lego Zelda, potentially Lego Metroid, potentially Lego Donkey Kong Country stuff like King
Well, there
K.
is Lego
Rool
Donkey
or
Kong stuff now, but it's with the Mario.
it's with the Mario stuff. I'm specifically, because this is me. I'm people. I want like Lego Donkey Kong Country stuff, like King K. Rool and Dixie and all that stuff. So
Yeah, they made a Dixie set, which is great. Which
Yeah.
my wife loves Dixie, so we had to buy it. But again, it's a Dixie you have to make.
Yeah.
But she's
Right.
bigger. She's not like a minifig Dixie. It's a Lego made out of Dixie. She came with Squawk too, which was cool. But yeah, I agree with you. I like the more traditional Lego, and I think that would be a very scary partnership if they keep going. I mean, look, they did the NES, and they did the Bowser. So will they do a Super Nintendo or a Game Boy or a Virtual Boy or
Yeah.
64? Who knows? I mean, they could just keep going. There could be a Lego Switch before we know it.
I mean, just that Lego question mark block that unfolds.
Another one.
Like that thing is just nuts. But I don't. Could you imagine like an entire here's a 500,000 piece Animal Crossing island?
Oh my god, where would you put that? No one would have room for an entire island. Like it wouldn't fit on any shelf, and you'd have to sit on the floor or a table. And
I have to start look to increase my rent. Is like I need a 2-bedroom now.
Yeah,
one for me, and one for my Legos.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's cool though, man. I'm glad they're doing it. We don't know anything beyond that. Like the rumors say March. That would make a lot of sense. Bowser in the chat says I would make room, right? So, I mean that's that's the thing, man. Animal Crossing. It's funny because speaking of Bowser, Bowser was in our Discord and she's like, look, this got me, this got the itch back. I started up a new Animal Crossing island, and that's exactly what these things are for, man.
That's literally the whole point of cross promotion. That's exactly the point of cross promotion. But I mean, Lego isn't even the only Nintendo company that we found out about a new collaboration with this week, Seth.
Yeah, that's right. So this is a funny little story that I just wanted to quickly hit here. Nintendo is collaborating with Jakks Pacific for a Bowser Bash event next week. They say save the date, mark your calendar for Friday the 13th because Jakks Pacific is throwing a Bowser Bash at Nintendo NYC. Bring your friends and family for this fierce party from 7 p.m. to 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Entries on a first come first serve basis. They're doing a follow-up event the next day from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they are encouraging people to wear Super Mario themed costumes. Kind of clearly like a pre-Halloween sort of event.
Friday the 13th,
Yeah, but I'm curious though, like Jakks Pacific is an interesting, for those who don't know, they've worked with Nintendo for many years, making figures and most recently making the Mario movie
stuff,
figures. So, and they did earlier this year introduce, it was probably like 3 or 4 months ago, introduced another wave of Mario movie figures that nobody really thought was going to happen. And now I'm kind of curious if maybe they might announce something here. I don't know. This could just be like a fun little cross-promotion event. But there's a part of me that's like, it would make me happy at least if they were like, here's wave 3 of the Mario movie figures. But who knows?
If anything, I would think it'd be Mario Wonder figures maybe because it's so close to release Mario Wonder.
Yeah. It's literally happening the week before, so why not? I mean... It's October. They're doing. Oh god!
Mario RPG's coming in November. The Geno figures, Mallow figures.
That'd be crazy.
You can have my money.
That'd be crazy.
I'm just a big spooky season guy. They're doing it on Friday the 13th. They're doing it in spook. Maybe it's a Halloween themed line. Maybe it's a Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon line because even though that's a while out, that's still forthcoming. But I don't know. Regardless. I would expect them to do some type of announcement. I don't think that this is just going to be... I don't think this is just the Bowser Bash. I do think that we will see some type of headline come out of this.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah.
there's more to it than that. They're just not going to throw a party in New York City
Why?
for nothing.
Yeah.
And specifically Jakks Pacific, it's like
Yeah.
they would be promoting something, like you said. You know, if you're going to do a cross promotion, it's going to be to promote a product. And
Right.
what's that product? I mean, they're obviously going to have their existing figures out for sale, like you know
Mhm.
the previous waves, you know, for people there to pick up. But there's got to be some kind of new reveal, and they've got that big TV upstairs in Nintendo New York where
Yep.
they do like the
The
directs
Smash
and stuff.
Brothers and the Directs. Yeah.
So maybe they'll be like, oh, everybody upstairs, we're going to be a new reveal for a new line and show it off to them first, or something like
Right.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that'd be cool.
I think so. Yeah, it would be cool.
So
we got a
what
lot
would be your wish? Like, we can speculate on what we think it might be. If you could have your wish, Barry, what would you love to see Jakks Pacific announce?
Unfortunately, because they specifically mention dress up as Mario cost characters and it's Bowser's. I do think it's going to be Mario specific, but I miss their World of Nintendo line where they had
Yeah.
Pikmin and they had Star Fox, they had Zelda, they had all these other IP, and I was really hoping to see it expand, like at F-Zero. They're like all the Smash Brothers characters,
right.
get figures for it. So I would love for it to be something other than Mario, but because it's most likely Mario, I would, the Luigi's Mansion idea, maybe not just Dark Moon, but maybe characters from all three, Professor Egad, Polterpup, get
Oh
Luigi,
yeah,
with the
Helen
oh,
Gravely, Big
the
Boo,
Game Boy
King Boo.
Horror, have them with the little Game Boy Horror you could play. All the different characters. There's so many, I forget them all. Like in Luigi's Mansion 3, like on each of the floors, there was always like different
Yep.
characters. The movie director and the one floor, and like maybe those characters. I think that would be really neat.
If they released like a Luigi figure with a giant skeleton T-Rex toy, I would probably get that.
I want to see them do Luigi's figure, but have it with Death from Castlevania, with Death stealing his soul.
Let's go. Yeah, just lean into it, man. That'd be sick. My request is simple. Just like with the Mario movie, like you made a Cat Mario. So they're on the shelf behind me with the last wave. You made the Cat Mario. I need a full-scale Donkey Kong figure to go up against the Cat Mario. We got that big old Bowser, and it's sick. It's amazing. I love it. I want a Donkey Kong that is in that scale, like big old Donkey Kong, to go up against Cat Mario. I would love that very much. I can't believe they haven't done that yet.
I want a Cat Goomba figure. That's what I want.
Yeah.
There you go. There we go.
Yes.
I like
and
that.
A Meowser. Get a Meowser figure.
Yes.
And what do they call it in Bowser's Fury? Bowser's Fury Bowser. Get one of those.
Mhm.
Oh,
figures.
Fear, yeah.
Oh man.
Night
That'd
Terror
make me
Bowser.
Yeah.
That's what he gives me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Well, we got a quick little thing here to hit too. The Batman Arkham trilogy for Nintendo Switch has been delayed. Was initially going to come out actually like next week.
Yep.
And it's been delayed to December 1st. The statement here says, quote, Batman Arkham Trilogy for Nintendo Switch will now launch on December 1st, 2023. More time is needed to bring players the best possible experience on Nintendo Switch. We apologize to fans who are excited to play this version of the trilogy. Thank you for your patience, end quote. And it's like, cool, like let it cook, but also October's super busy anyway, and you'll do better in December anyways, right?
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, it's still weird that at this point you found something that's going to, because I don't think this was the calendar is too stacked. I do think that this was hey, the porting process has been a little bit more complicated than we thought it would. And at that point, it almost worries me that they only pushed it back a month and a half.
I think this is more of we were ready to go, and then Mortal Kombat 1 came out, and people looked at the Switch version and went, oh my god, and they looked at their version and go, oh god, we're going to get highly scrutinized. We better push this back and make sure this looks fantastic. And if that's the case, I am happy. I would rather have a game be delayed and come out great than have a game come out and become
1000%. 1000%. Because we did kind of help make the Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1.
Yes.
Let it cook, man. Let it cook. And you know what though? I'll say, like, I don't think like anything's probably. I'd be shocked if anything happened with the physical cart because Arkham Asylum was already going to be the only game on cart anyway. So
Yeah.
so that probably is unaffected by this. My first thought was, God, I hope the physical release isn't delayed as well. But I imagine it's still going to hit that December 1st date, just like the digital version. So they
Yep.
haven't said otherwise anyway. So yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
We'll
we'll be
see.
lucky and they're delaying it to put all the games on the cart. That would be wonderful.
That'd be crazy.
Not
That'd be
gonna
great.
happen.
That'd be not gonna happen, but that would be great.
I would pay, like, if they did some kind of triple pack where each of the 3 individual games was still in the case, I'd pay, some extra
have
money to.
to.
Get all. I know I would, but I would pay to have all 3 games physical.
$100
cart in that case.
It would be cheaper for them to just use a bigger card. And they'll never
Yeah.
do 3 separate cards. Each
Yeah.
card, the smallest card, a 2 gig card, is $8. To get a 4
Mhm.
gig card is $9. So they would pay an extra $1 versus an extra $8 to have a 4 gig card any day of the
Right.
week. It's a smart business. So you're only going to get 1 card. It's just, will they be nice enough to give us a bigger card, cutting into their profit a little more? No. The answer is
No.
no, because they're
course
not
not.
going to. They don't care.
Nah, they'll be fine. It'll be all right. Yeah, it is what it is. Either way, December 1st. I'm looking forward. I hope these are good ports because these
I
are
do
great
too.
games.
Yeah, they are fantastic. It's just the Switch continuing to pad out its already ridiculous catalog at this point. But I mean, speaking of ridiculous catalog, we've already talked about Mario Wonder just a little bit. If you're running around retail stores in the next week or so, the demo has begun to hit retail store kiosks. So do be on the lookout for that. You may be able to get a whiff of a Mario Wonder demo out in the wild starting now.
Mm-hmm. GameStops, Targets, Walmarts, we're starting to see it crop up. Of course, conveniently timed, the red Mario OLED is also available now. Just came out, so they're
With its, let's just call it minimalist design.
yeah, very minimalist design, but they got the marketing machine full steam ahead. The game is now, as we sit here, gentlemen, 2 weeks away,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So. We got that. That's going on. Be on the lookout for that when you're out and about. But before we say goodnight, let's hit some of the notable releases that came out
Yes.
this week, shall we?
Yes, another batch of fun games to play. Of course, I think first and foremost, especially for Nintendo Switch owners, the biggest release of this past week is, of course, the return of the coffee-swilling, diehard, gruff Detective Pikachu.
Yes. I can't wait. I know it got like lukewarm reviews, but you know what? The first one did too. I loved the first one, and I'm excited to play this, man.
Nice. Are you a
Can't wait.
Detective Pikachu guy, Barry?
I played the first game, but I never finished it, and I enjoyed the movie. And I have Detective Pikachu Returns sitting upstairs, and it might
Nice.
be the game I play next after I finish what I'm working on, because I don't want to get into something too heavy before Mario Wonder comes out. So
Right.
Yeah.
I might give it a try and see how it is.
Nice. Well,
Be a
you
quick
gotta let
little
us know.
playthrough.
Yeah, let us know how the
Yeah.
kid reacts to it if they're as transfixed by Detective Pikachu. as
Not
they
enough
are.
blood.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Another one to definitely hit. We've already talked about this studio already in regards to you, Barry, but yes, a Tiny Sticker Tale did also release this past week. So, Lonesome Village, definitely check that out from Premium Edition Games from the same developer. A Tiny Sticker Tale just released on the Nintendo Switch this week.
It's great. It's great. I played through the whole thing. We were lucky enough to get a code from Ogre Pixel. There's a video on the YouTube channel right now if you want to check it out. And it's a real great, quick little bite-sized thing. 3 hours maybe, just a quick little thing. It's interesting because Lonesome Village is like a big, deep,
Yeah.
kind of like it's got life sim elements and Zelda elements like you touched on, Barry. But this is like a like very self-described as like a little bite-sized snack-sized game, very wholesome, very cute, got that same great art, really cool kind of central sticker mechanic. Easy recommend. It's very good. So
Were you able to play that one from them, Barry?
Yeah, we did get code, so we have tested it out and played it, and we really like Ogre Pixel. They do good work, and
yeah,
like
man.
I said, we were blown away with Lonesome Village. So if you enjoy Tiny Sticker Tale, definitely give Lonesome Village a try too. Same team and same art style, and a much
Yeah.
bigger game.
Nice.
Yeah. Much bigger. So if you're into what you see there, and you want something like a little more meat to chew on, definitely Lonesome Village is the way to go. We also got a code for this game Bilkin's Folly, which just came out, and that's like there's a video for that on the YouTube channel as well. And that's like a really cool kind of like treasure hunting, Monkey Island kind of style, like pixel adventure game. And I liked it, I liked it quite a bit. I think it needs a little bit of optimization on the Switch. In busy areas, it does definitely, the frame rate dips quite a bit. So I think maybe it could use a patch, but still, like the humor, it's like very funny, well written, cute dog. It's got all that stuff.
Well, that's all you need.
So.
That's really all you need. But in addition to that, a couple other games, Disgaea 7, Disgaea Nippon Ichi Software America. It's got a ton of fans. I'm one of them. Disgaea, really, really great tactical RPG series. Brand new one just came out. So if you're a fan of stuff like that, definitely check out Disgaea 7 now on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, have you actually played any of the Disgaea games, Seth?
I played one on like the PS2, I think. Very briefly, like a friend of mine was trying to show it to me, and I got very intimidated by it. It's a lot of menuing from what I remember. Like a lot of menuing from what I remember.
Yeah.
It's like you go into a dungeon and you get like a sword, and then your sword has like its own skill, like all this crazy stuff, and like very high damage numbers from what I remember too. I don't know. I've always been a little intimidated by it. Now they're on like 7. I'm like, I can't, so.
You big tactical RPG guy, Barry?
Not as much. I do prefer, traditional turn-based RPGs. But I remember when the first Disgaea came out, it did not sell well, and it was not a very big genre, so there wasn't a lot to choose from. And I remember it started shooting up in value because it was a small print, and they did a reprint of it. I remember I was working at EB at the time, Electronic Boutiques for those that remember it. And we got a reprint, and I was like, oh, this is great. And suddenly a second one came out, and then the series just went on. And they always usually get good reviews. I know 6 wasn't as well regarded, but I think now there's so many other tactical RPGs that it doesn't have the same luster as it did back then because there were so few, and it was like, this is how you're going to get your fix. And now it's just like there's 100 other ones,
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
But if it is something you're interested in, that is also out now on the Nintendo Switch, a game that we talked about last week or the week before. I am kind of interested in checking out this Dino Break now, Seth.
I am too. Yeah, kind of like Dino Crisis kind of spiritual successor. It looks pretty good actually. I'm interested in checking it out. I saw the trailer floating around Twitter, and I was like, yeah, I like me some Dino Crisis. It looks like it's going to be like a Dino, like the good and bad things about Dino Crisis. Like it looks like it still has like the tank controls and all the rest.
Yeah,
but
like
yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I like them. I can get down with it. So, yeah,
I don't know.
cool.
I will say, I don't have any worry about that running well on the Nintendo Switch. I've got to admit, though, I am a little concerned about how well Borderlands 3 is going to perform on the Nintendo Switch, and that also released this week. So
solid, pretty solid.
That's kind of what I'm hearing, but I don't know. I love the Borderlands series. The first Borderlands is still my favorite game from my Xbox 360 days. I absolutely adore the series. I know you have a couple misgivings about Borderlands 3 specifically, especially when it comes to the narrative, but the game itself...
The story's bad. The story's real bad. But the gameplay is great. It's the best like playing Borderlands game. Now, Borderlands 3 on Switch is a little compromised because they did have to scale it back. You can't do 4-player co-op. You can only do 2-player co-op. So that's a little unfortunate, but like I was watching Game Explain did a comparison video, and it's obviously like very, the textures are pretty muddy, like they definitely, but because of the art style of Borderlands, it kind of works.
See, that's the thing, like cell shaded it's always kind of aged well. Even cell shaded games back on the PlayStation 2, because of that stylistic choice, it's always just translated better, as opposed to something like if you're going for something even approaching photorealism. So, but if you
Right.
go for something more stylized, I've always found that translates better.
Yeah, like it's like it looks like it is up and it's running. Like it's not like they got it working. You know, they got the thing working. In fact, here I'll just quickly pull up a Game Explains video so y'all can get a little bit of look at if you're watching the video version. Like, you know, like it works. Like it's Borderlands, right? It's
It
like
works.
They flipped the switch and it turned on.
like that looks like yes. Does that hand look polygonal and like muddy? Yes, but it's Borderlands.
Honestly, it looks like I remember the original Borderlands looking, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Yeah, but like you're gonna see like they wipe over, and you can see it's way more detailed on like PlayStation, right? But it's like, but that's okay because it's Borderlands, so the muddy textures kind of work as long as y'all got this running.
You're not wrong.
At like. Yeah, like as long as y'all got this running at like a stable frame rate. And I will say, I noticed in some of this gameplay, it looks like the frame rate is uncapped. I do wish that they had locked it at 30 or something. It doesn't look like they have. But like, you know, overall, it seems like it's running just fine on Switch, which is impressive in its own right. So,
You know, another thing too, when you look at these comparison, is when you're playing the game, you're not having two TVs side by side,
Right.
comparing both of them. You're just focused on the Switch version.
Yeah.
And if you get into the game, you're not even going to be paying attention. It's like when you
Honestly,
go to a store and you see like two multiple TVs, like, oh, this one's a little
Right.
brighter than this one, or this one's a little darker, or this one a little sharper. Like that doesn't matter. Once you get home and you put it up, it's going to look great. Like
Yeah.
you're really nitpicking.
Based on this footage, yeah, I think it looks fine. I really do think it looks fine. I'd have no problem, just based on the visuals, I'd have no problem playing that.
No.
Especially if it runs well, especially if it's not all bug ridden or something. So, okay, fair enough. I feel a lot better now about Borderlands 3 on the Nintendo Switch.
It looks
Yeah.
like it's running perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's running totally fine. And you know, the thing too with stuff like this is we got to keep in mind that there are people who don't have these other consoles who only
Yeah.
play on Nintendo. So it's great for that, man. So now is
Yeah.
it like a 70 gig download or something like that? Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
But, you know, yeah. So
And just a couple other notable releases from this past week. Just another stacked week. But Wargroove 2 also
Yeah.
came out this past week. If you're into stuff like that, Wargroove 2 is now out. Speaking of sequels, Front Mission 2, the remake of Front Mission 2, also came out this
right.
week. They're trying to front load October so that everything's out of the way come the 20th, and Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2, essentially. So.
that's right, man. Yeah,
There's
big
another
week.
release that you
Yeah.
didn't talk about.
Oh,
Huh.
please.
Silent Hope came out this week.
Oh, that's right. That one isn't that one where like the lore is like they like the people can't talk or something.
Yeah,
I saw it in a Nintendo
I'm actually
Direct, right?
playing through it right now.
Oh, nice. What do you
I'm
think
almost
about
towards
it?
the end of it. It's good. It's like Diablo 1 Lite. It is
Okay.
the same basis of Diablo 1. You have a hub area. You go down into the abyss, just like you did in Diablo, and you get to like certain floors that are like checkpoint floors, and you can go back and jump back to any checkpoint floor and get loot system. But instead of getting the actual loot, you get the blueprints, and you actually have to make the loot. But
Okay.
you're constantly getting materials and processing them up in your base camp, and then you could turn around and make the loot. And each of the 7 characters are different classes, and they level up independently, but you could switch at any time. Even in the middle of a dungeon, at certain points, you could switch.
Okay.
And it's better than I was expecting. Like it started off, I was like, oh man, this may not be that good, but it is. It's a lot better than I was expecting it to be. But it's Diablo Light. Like it is, without the hell demons and stuff. It's a lot more cutesy and chibi, but a lot of fun. At the same time, and I'm like, it starts you off on normal, and I have a feeling when you beat it, it's like, oh, now you could take your character and play on a
Crank up.
harder
Yep.
difficulty and just
Yep.
keep going up. But yeah, it's I do recommend it if you like dungeon crawlers and loot games, especially games like Diablo, and you're looking for like a little itch. It's nothing too long. I think it's probably can finish it with 10 hours or so.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay.
Maybe even
Yeah.
shorter, depending on how how each floor is like Diablo randomly generated every time you go, and there's different objectives per floor to get bonus experience, and there's a skill tree system where you get different skills you could power up and use the skills, and I like it. I really do.
Very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. Well, I mean, Barry, like his entire specialty is making sure that games don't fly under people's radar. So here he is doing his job on our show. So
That's right, man.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check that out. Thank you very much for that, Barry.
Of course.
And let us know what you guys are up to this week. Again, another week of stacked releases. Make sure to check out the Premium Edition games Fall Direct up now on YouTube. Make sure to check out premiumeditiongames.com. Also, make sure to check us out All In Podcast on Facebook, at All In Podcast on, it's still weird to call it X, at All In Podcast on Twitter /X. Make sure to also check out youtube.com/All In Podcast. If you're watching us here live, go ahead, like, follow, subscribe, click the bell, all that good stuff. Also, make sure to check out our Patreon, where we create, let me not fall over that word, where we create exclusive content for our patrons.
That's right. Patreon.com/allinpodcast. We do exclusive content over there every single week. You can join the Golden Banana tier for free for 7 days, so you don't got to take our word for it. Patreon.com/allinpodcast. Got merch, bit.ly/allinmerch as well. And again, if you want to support the show for free, the review on a podcast feed, the like here on YouTube, the comment, all that stuff helps us out quite a lot. So thanks so much for doing that. Barry, thanks so much for coming through, dude. We really appreciate you. How can people find you on the internet, my friend?
Yeah, so you could find me on Twitter, which I refuse to call it X. I'll call it Twitter.
Me too.
I don't
Twitter,
blame you.
as well as Blue Sky and Fuse. You could find me at Hawk Hellfire on all three of those platforms. I have to have those safety nets in case Elon destroys Twitter even more. But you can find me there. You could find me on YouTube at youtube.com/NintendoFuse, as well as nintendofuse.com, where we do our own podcast every other Monday at 8:30 p.m. live, just like this show on camera. And you could also find us at premiumeditiongames.com, like Eric said, where you can not only pre-order our brand new Series 7, but you could pick up some in-stock titles from our previous series that we still have, so you can get your game on right now. You could also find us on Twitter at Premium Edition 1 and all other platforms at Premium Edition Games.
Awesome. And just want to thank you one more time, Barry. Thank everybody. Thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank everybody who has dropped words, everybody who's picked up a piece of our merch at bit.ly/allinmerch. And to all of you, to everybody who has shared our content somewhere across this vast internet of ours, to you and to you, Barry, we give you an extra special namaste.
Namaste, everybody. That's been the weekend news. Follow Barry. I'm gonna have links to everything Barry in the video / podcast description. Always a total treat. We got an episode of All In a Nintendo podcast dropping tomorrow as well, where we're kicking off spooky season. We're doing an indie showcase on Cocoon, which Eric's got on the screen behind him. We're doing the top 5 ghosts in Nintendo history, and we're debuting a new segment called a Boomerang Review, where we're getting the Boomerang flower and we're taking something from earlier this year that we didn't get a chance to review, and we're reviewing it properly here in Spooky Month with Paranormasight, one of my favorite games of the year. Yeah. So excited to do that. That drops on your feeds tomorrow. And yeah. Anything else, gentlemen, before we say goodnight?
You got your favorite ghosts in Nintendo history, Barry? Anyone that stick out for you?
I guess the Polterpup from Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, that might appear on one of our lists. I don't
Good
know.
Man.
I can't confirm.
Good man. Very nice. But thank you all for joining us for part of your Friday evening. We hope you all have an amazing week. Like I said, a brand new episode of All In, a Nintendo podcast hits your feeds tomorrow. For myself, for my co-host, have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.